everybody.
Hello, everyone.
This is MaJeliv. We're the Vasquez family. I'm Matthew.
I'm Jenny.
I'm Jimmy.
I'm Jose.
And I'm Joshua.
And today we are going to be reacting to episode 3 of Loki season 2. This show, we've been loving this show so far. Season 2 has been incredible. We have a lot of questions. Episode 2 was a lot. It was so jam-packed with a lot of different branches and pruning and a lot of really cool, awesome stuff. A lot of questions. So hopefully we get some of those questions answered. This episode is called 1893, so it's going to be quite the interesting time, flashback. Should be a lot of fun. 4 minutes longer than last episode, so we got ourselves a treat, it sounds like. So let's jump into episode 3 of Loki season 2. We're excited that you guys are here with us. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching an edited version of our reaction. If you want to have access to our full uncut watch along, you guys can have access to that by becoming a member of this channel by clicking the link in the description or this card up above, or by clicking that join icon next to the subscribe button. That way you guys can again have 2 ways to access those uncut watch alongs where you can sync up your copy of Loki with ours and watch alongside us. It'll be like watching with family. So if you're interested in that, you guys can check that out. But regardless, we're happy to have you guys here with us today. So let's jump into episode 3 of Loki season 2. Here we go.
Oh, time for some truth, please.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Ragtime, bro.
Ragtime.
Ragtime.
Ragtime MCU.
Oh, I love this.
This is genius.
It's probably the best,
This is my favorite version of this song.
this better be on Spotify.
Please.
Come on.
Oh boy, Chicago.
Chicago.
Wow, this is back then. Portal right there. Oh, never mind. It's going to be in the alleyway.
Love the way this is shot already.
Oh.
Renslayer. This is right after.
1868 in the timeline? Sacred timeline?
Yeah.
So she went back in time?
She
I
did.
guess it is the TVA. She's trying to meet up with Miss Minutes.
Oh, you mischievous one.
Oh.
Oh, look, there she is.
What took you so long? What am I doing here?
Dude, this is nuts.
He told me that we need to put this package in that window. It was his plan, meant to protect all of time. Get back, someone will see you.
Dude, this
Okay.
Miss Minutes being so cartoony is so off-putting, right?
Yeah, that we were like, I'm thinking of something in my mind.
So curious, so curious.
And what do I get in return? When he's back where he belongs, atop the TVA, you and I will be right by his side.
That's what they all promise.
Gonna change the time, change the future.
Yeah, to alter the future, potentially.
Because it's on the sacred timeline, so.
So that is probably Kang.
It
Or
definitely
his
is.
dad or something.
And he sent it to himself.
Oh!
A handbug.
Wow.
Dang. He planted it,
That's what
essentially.
he did.
So is he gonna start the timeline again from that point?
What do you mean timeline again? I mean, it's basically... The
It's
sacred
about
timeline is
being-
still the sacred timeline.
We need to scale the loom's capacity to manage all those new branches. Otherwise, it will fail. And the TVA will be destroyed. And we're all gonna die.
How are we gonna find a little rogue cartoon clock that doesn't want to be found?
You're gonna have to.
It's crazy that Miss Minutes is really in on it. She's his sidekick. Wow, man.
Wow.
I love it.
This isn't a pivot point in history. Any major figure arises from here?
The window.
Let's go to 1893. Ravonna, what are you up to?
That's the window right there.
Yeah. Genius shot right there.
They walked right by it. You're kidding me.
This can't be the same place. Chicago World's Fair, 1893. The White City, Edison, H.H. Holmes. Yes, hot air balloon.
Fascinating. So this is now a branch timeline because of the book, or no?
No. Okay, this is still the sacred timeline, I believe.
It said branched on the bottom.
Oh, it did? Oh, so
Yeah.
it is branched.
Hey, what? Let me see that.
Ghost clock.
Ghost clock. Huh. Dude, that is so eerie, man.
Breadcrumbs. Oh, what?
Huh.
Love it.
I haven't seen you got some crackers up on your chin. How about that?
It's damn sticky.
Love the writing.
This has to be a joke.
Wow.
Does it make you a little homesick?
Completely inaccurate, first of all.
That looks like a
It's embarrassing. It's a crass generalization. It's like poverty of imagination.
I'm a little left out that they're not out there. You are one of them. Blows my mind.
Oh man.
Temporal. That can't be a coincidence.
That's what we'll find Renslayer.
Victor Timely's. The clothes of this era, right? The fashion is so... I love it so much.
The music too.
He does like a good drink. And so do I.
I love that. I love it. I keep saying it because I love it.
I remember that was from season 1.
Yep. They have that little scene together, taking sips of some sort of drink.
Oh boy, here we go.
Temporal aura extractor.
Is that the loom?
I think so.
Oh, shoot.
Time is everything.
Ooh, this is gonna freak Loki out, dude.
Perhaps we can shape it.
Oh.
Oh.
It's him. He remains. What? You made him sound like this terrifying figure.
Don't be shocked
He is.
when I tell you that
This is one of the variants that He Remains warned me about. It's coming. It's beginning. Oh, look where we are. I mean, does he really look like he's about to conquer all of time?
Oof, man. Tense.
He built that using the book.
a chaos of particles is transformed into order. By design. The wattage Edison.
Is that the Loki theme on the piano?
Yeah.
Bro, I want to learn it.
So, call it a dream. Fine. Sneer. Laugh it off as pure science fiction. Because all science is fiction until it's fact.
Dang, it's like a prototype of the loom.
You need to bring him back to the TVA.
Huh.
Man.
We need to talk about your future.
There she is. She's talking to her guy.
Certainly. Take this many,
I love his hair, right?
albeit one that many wealthy investors are competing to acquire.
No, no. I was thinking more along the lines of a partnership. You give me the patent rights, and I'll facilitate production.
No. I don't do partners. Excuse me. Thank you for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be taking all formal bids.
I'll give you 6.
7.
$1,000.
In the 1800s?
Yeah. That's insane.
Yikes, dude.
Hey, clown! You stepped on my foot.
I do apologize. I assure you any physical contact was purely incidental.
The charmer, right?
Oh, he's getting away. Will you handle this, please?
How about we settle this outside?
Outside. Excellent suggestion. I agree. Oh, come on.
The amazing Loki, everyone. He'll be here all week.
Benefits of the fair. It's all a show.
Yeah, exactly.
I beg your pardon, fellas, but Mr. Timely and I are in the middle of discussing.
Renslayer, this is only going to take a minute.
Do you all know each other?
Oh
It's
my
crazy to
gosh.
see all those people together.
You're a confidence trickster.
Luminary is the word you're looking
Luminary,
for, friend.
of course, forgive
Yes,
me.
my ideas are just ahead of their time.
Why wouldn't they be?
Your inventions are fake! Timely! Excuse me. I'll wipe that spine off your face!
Is that the guy who gave him $1,000?
Yeah. Oh. He's a mess, dude.
Enjoy the view. That's what he should say.
Oh, we heard that? The music, the Loki theme with the
Not a great time.
the horns.
But, all right. You're clearly really good at getting away. We have that in
Oh.
Sylvie! Sylvie, no!
Oh.
You've done enough. Get out of my face and let me finish the job.
Oh boy.
Dude. Oh man.
What do you want to do?
We don't work together anymore, Mobius. I don't have to tell you anything.
Yeah.
She's always been so annoying, dude.
She's great, but annoying.
Do you care about anything but the TVA?
Huh.
TVA.
That's all Loki has.
Don't play the teamwork card on me now.
Can I play the you tried to kill me card? We need your help.
No, Mobius. There is no we. Not anymore.
It's not fair.
Dude, this is not going well, like at all.
Not at all, dude.
You are waltzing him straight back into the TVA.
Yeah.
The thief of all free will. The most dangerous man who ever lived.
Wow.
Maybe you're right. Maybe we should throw him off this Ferris wheel. But we need him. The TV.
Man, this is a lot.
The
Who do you
paradox.
believe? Like,
I know.
I wanna. I have a feeling it's Sylvie who's right. I don't.
This is on you.
Loki! Come on!
Yeah, it's so true, man. They're gonna give him what he wants. It's such a weird, like, I don't know how to describe what.
Yeah, it makes you
This is
figure
a
out, like,
mess.
think who's right and who's not.
I know, or like they both have two parts of the truth.
Almost like she knows that they have like a romantic relationship.
So, did you like my performance back there? Ooh.
Excusez-moi, Mademoiselle Minutes. Ladies, it's high time someone tells me exactly
What's going on?
what is going on.
Yeah. Something right.
Agreed.
I created the TVA.
Something like that.
It is like He Who Remains planned all this, though. Think about it. If you put the book in, he's always ahead of the game.
I'll keep you safe.
Even before the TVA, or her, you created me. And we worked together at the end of time. I'm here because I know what a great man you can become.
The love triangle, dude. I know one of them has more of a chance than the other one, but you know.
They can't be trusted.
Why not?
Loki helped murder your variant.
But he was protecting me.
He switches sides. It's a well-documented behavioral trait.
That is true.
Time to go.
I love when he says that time to go.
Music.
What a life, right?
Outside!
Outside. It's the beard. It affects the way you speak.
It's almost like they both want the same thing, though.
Bag! Go ahead. I beg your pardon.
It's awesome.
I'll be 15 on a trace. This way.
Dang, man, it's so annoying. It's
Unless
like
Sylvie gets to them first, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
He cannot get into the TVA.
No,
that's
yeah,
what.
that's what he wants. That's what He Who Remains
wanted.
Sir, use your legs.
Wow, what a shot.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Amazing.
Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. Thank you.
That has to be a real boat.
He made $1,000 in one night.
In the 1800s.
Is this where I keep everything I've ever imagined?
That looks impressive.
It was delivered to me when I was a child. Dropped into my life by some divine hand. You.
Yes.
Oh.
You brought it to him the way the postman brings the post. We both know whose plan it was.
Dang, don't do Miss Minutes like that. Come on. I know she's bad, but like...
Myself and the visionary author, Ouroboros.
Who is he, right?
Uh-huh. So
Right.
interesting.
He's one of the only other ones that's created the place.
Look at that. There's the fairy. Oh, happy day. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
His performance in this is so intriguing. I love it.
I know, me too.
Aw.
Oh,
Because he doesn't seem... That's the thing about He Who Remains that was
Yeah.
so fascinating. He was never like... He didn't come off as this like sinister character.
Sweet Emmanuel Peckham. I have high hopes for this partnership.
Oh.
Well.
He doesn't do partnerships.
Mm.
He didn't like that.
Nope.
Ha. And Miss Minutes liked that he didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love that.
Last
Because he was like... It's not a partnership. Oh!
Oh, shoot.
Had to do it. Bye.
Wow.
Miss Minutes
Just
is
like that.
Tad annoying. But you know.
Man, she's like...
She really
she's like
ticks me
Worm
off,
Tongue.
dude.
And that's actually valid.
Thank you, Cherish. Thank you.
She's like Worm Tongue, you know.
Oh boy, AI making
Just to
it
clarify,
smart.
the reason why she ticks me off is because she's a clock. Tick, you know. Mannequins.
He's so good.
Yeah.
It's all Ouroboros' work, right?
Probably.
He's the author of that book.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's so fascinating. It was the original story with Ouroboros.
Let's go.
Now, what's the rush?
Don't we have to get to the TV?
I was thinking, it might be smart to lay low for a while. We made quite the ruckus back there.
Huh. Oh boy.
You know, for a moment, I was worried that you wouldn't come with me. That you liked Ravonna better than me. Is there a sketch of me in that journal of yours?
I think she's trying to see how she gets created.
When you first created me, long before the TVA or multiverse.
How do you have the robot and Wally?
Mm.
The way he like manipulates the captains.
And still, each night we played chess and talked.
She loves him.
Yeah.
I alone was by your side.
That's why she's gone
There
AWOL.
was one whim.
Because she loves him. Oh, this is weird, man.
Allow me a real body.
Mm.
Hmm.
If I had a body, we could truly lead together.
She stands on the head part. That's fun.
You never even tried. With all your powers and all your abilities, you just kept me as your thing.
That's not fair, Miss Minutes. Come
Yeah.
on. Just because he
Not
looks
even
like
the same
him.
dude. Yeah, she's just using him now.
Your girl. Victor, what are you doing? Put that down. Don't do this. We're a team. You need me. I love you.
Oh, thank you. Goodness.
Terrifying.
Wow. Ah.
Terrifying, dude.
Lovers tip.
It's very dangerous.
From now on, I'm the one in charge.
Ms. Renslayer.
That poor guy.
Gosh, she just keeps pruning everybody. She's so annoying.
You really are unbelievable. How dare you lecture me?
This Victor guy's like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I
seriously,
know, the
dude.
poor guy.
Poor dude. I mean, she even branched him off into his own.
Making the hard decisions you never had the nerve to make.
Put it down.
You have no idea what it takes to lead, to act, to keep order.
Ah.
Just put the gun down,
Put it
Ravonna.
down, woman.
I'm the only one who can bring stability to the TVA because that's what I've been doing, thanklessly, for eons.
That's relative.
I'm order.
Here comes the third party.
Yep.
Yeah, she's gonna kill Renslayer right now.
I haven't done anything.
Oh, you will.
That isn't me. You don't know me. You don't know the heart. I have beating in my chest. I'm not the man you think I am.
Yeah, he's worse, probably.
Come on, Sylvie.
Like, I don't trust him.
Come on.
Stop what?
I don't
kill him or not?
She doesn't want to do it.
Get Renslayer. Freaking in, man.
Get him out of here.
It's not fair to her either, bro, to have to kill somebody.
Don't make me regret this. Leave her to me.
Yes, please.
It's better that he's going with Mobius. Wait, why did he give her that look?
Because.
It's better that he's going with Mobius and Loki than Ravonna and Miss Minutes.
You're gonna kill me. Just do it. I've killed you 1,000 times. In my mind. Each time more brutal than the last. It's crippling, that kind of obsession.
Huh.
It's power for you, isn't it? That's what you want. A seat at the end of time. Be careful what you wish for.
Huh. No way she just dropped her in there. He's still there, dude. Look at him.
Oh, man.
Dude, he's just sitting there. Dang.
Oh. Why would you do that?
Darn. Well, it was foolish of him to make an enemy out of someone who knows all his secrets. I know a really big one. About you. I can tell you, but what? It's gonna make you real angry.
Dude, what the heck, man?
What a mind twist this show.
What an episode,
This
man.
show is the best! Wow.
Dang. Whew. Thoughts?
Key lime pie.
Well, we clearly know who has the power here, Miss Minutes.
Seriously.
She knows everything. About everyone.
Which is annoying.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't know Sylvie and Loki, so that
we have going for us, yeah.
Yeah. That...
I just love how character-driven it is. Because it's true, Victor Timely, who is Kang to say that he has the right to just kill all his variants, right?
Yeah.
So you'd hope that Victor Timely...
kind of like the way Sylvie was, of like not wanting to define her future.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's up to her. Like it's true, every individual has the freedom to decide what they're gonna do. Doesn't mean like you're gonna be just like your variant.
That's why Loki, when he didn't say anything, he was just looking at her.
Right.
You know? He wasn't expecting her to do anything or trying to convince her to do anything. He just was gonna let happen what happened, to trust her instinct.
Yeah. No, and Victor Timely, I mean, I hope he can stay good or at least help them.
Yeah.
Right? But
then,
we'll see.
I'm curious about the truth that Miss Minutes is supposed to reveal to her.
Yeah, Renslayer, as annoying as she is, she's a very interesting character. She definitely has a history there with herself.
Almost
with
like
He Who
every
Remains.
time, every variant has either denied her, killed her, broken her heart.
Behave or get out.
And then what's Ouroboros' where is he in all of this? Because I know
he's the brains.
He
of
wrote the
everything.
book. Like, he says it's his ideas, but was it really?
Right.
from, you know, the He Who Remains variant person.
Right. Yeah, it's like we don't know what to believe.
It's crazy.
Oh, alright. It's so funny. Every time we stay for an after credit scene, it just like doesn't happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay.
What an episode.
I love the dilemma. The
It's
dilemma
really-
that Loki and Sylvie have to continue to play tennis with, you know. She was all about killing this variant, this Victor Timely, and then, you know, she couldn't help but believe him because he's not lying. He's not the same He Who Remains.
Yeah. Right. And she's discovering the power of true free will and realizing that you do have free will and there is a responsibility there, you know? And for her to realize, like, oh yeah, there is also a cost to people I kill. And she even realized that with Renslayer. So yeah, that's the kind of the constant.
What she should have done is killed Miss
free
Minutes.
will.
That's what she should have done.
How do you kill?
She's like the underlying threat, though.
Yeah, she was in that little box.
She's like the new Ultron in a way that she's able to manipulate not just time and space, but also like
AI,
the people, you know.
Technology.
Just don't make it a clock.
It's also it's hard because Miss Minutes. That's what's interesting. Even though she has feelings and such, she's almost and it's happened to Renslayer too. Renslayer was very stuck on order and a certain way of thinking, and they represent a certain mentality and a certain way of looking at everything. And so that's what you have in Miss Minutes is more a philosophy, more of a way of a school of thought, right? But clearly Miss Minutes is deeply in love with Kang or He Who Remains, and so that is what's driving her. So what, we talk about what do characters want, what are each of their wants. They're super objective, they're objective, right? And Miss Minutes has so much there too. That's what's so interesting.
Well, what gets me is that she was given that by He Who Remains. Created at first, that's just, like she said, this computerized thing to play chess with. But he gave her the ability to desire and want and imagine. Right? She's just run amok now.
Yeah.
She's existed for too long. Miss Minutes.
That's what's ironic too. Is we almost want to know more about He Who Remains, the one that died, but there's no way to know now because he's dead. Unless you go, I don't know. That's just interesting.
We know what we know is pretty disturbing. He created this TVA but for what purpose? It's just the question. We still just don't know.
Right.
From Sylvie's point of view, it's been an enslavement of all people everywhere, of time itself.
Right. Well, now we know. Kind of not because before that there wasn't a bad side to the show, but now we have a clear picture of good versus evil.
Yeah.
Seeing Miss Minutes, seeing Ravonna.
I don't think we have a clear indication of who.
Right,
really.
but it feels a little bit more like a slithering of a snake on this side of things with Miss Minutes.
Yeah.
As opposed to, not knowing if Timely is going to be bad or not. Because you have Loki and Mobius and Sylvie and, the TVA. Ouroboros. So.
Right.
And we're going to learn more about Ravonna. Miss
Maybe.
Minutes knows something.
Yeah, hopefully we find out too.
Or maybe not, because she makes a really weird face. She made a really weird face when she turned to Ravonna to say something. And she offered to push her off of the boat. There's no way. Yeah.
Well, and also, I just thought about this too. Like,
Yeah, but Ravonna, I think there's a mystery to her she doesn't know about herself.
Yeah,
it's clear-
'cause
like-
just
like
like everyone else,
Ouroboros.
she's also
She's being deceived. Yeah.
Right.
they're all missing something. I think Renslayer. It's interesting because Renslayer and Miss Minutes are both missing something that the other one has, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember even in the recording in episode 1, season 2, that recording of He Who Remains with Renslayer, he was like, I think we could make good partners. So she does the same thing. So it's like Renslayer desires that, like, they both kind of want the same thing. It's just how He Who Remains sees them,
I forgot about that. He Who Remains says to Ravonna, we'd make good partners.
Along those lines. I could be wrong about that, but it's a good team, right?
I think because of what was happening beforehand, where people were like, partner, which she used the wrong word, and her desires are also in the wrong place, and he sensed that.
Yeah.
She wants to be with him so that she can have the right hands, that she can be in power too. As opposed to it being truly romantic and for her to like him and to be a team.
She's
to be
there for the
people that are there
partnership.
for each other, as opposed to a partnership with both people gain and get power, and he sensed that from her, and that was her intention. So, I mean, clearly, the way that she came back with a gun and was like, bro, do what I say, or because that's not love, that's not actually truly caring about somebody.
Right.
So, and he sensed that, he knew that.
But how did she ever come to, leading in the TVA? Because she was in charge at one point.
Well, she was having conversations with him. Because remember, there's a scene in season 1 where she's talking to Mobius, and then there's a stain on her desk of another cup that was there before.
So it's He Who Remains?
They had like a...
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
they
good
knew
memory.
each other, but...
Wow.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so in
good point.
reality, she she does find her way to partnering with him at some point. Everything, all this time jumping and switching, like, and who to trust, who not to trust, it just has us, like, it has me, like,
it's like she's trying to get back to the way it used to be,
Mm-hmm.
but not with the same person. So it's like she's trying to relive something that's never really going to exist again.
Yeah.
Thinking that she can still manipulate time, but it's like if that version of the person is dead, like, there's no going back. You can't really... It's never going to be that same teamwork. So I think that's why she was desiring so much of having the same thing in the variant of him. But kind of like what he said, he's like, I'm not that other person. Like, I'm different.
Yeah,
Because
right.
it's true.
And so then what makes He Who Remains assume that and want to claim ruler of all of them,
right?
The only one. So that's what's so interesting, is that he seems very... God, it's so fascinating. Because this Victor Tanley we just met seems very, very timid, very humble. I mean, obviously he's a thief. He's a trickster.
Him anyways.
But it's also, that's just it. He's very manipulative.
Mhm.
And he knows how to use his emotions. So he's clearly a showman, clearly someone that can put
And
on
he
a
says,
show,
my
a con
ideas,
artist.
my
right.
creative,
So,
you know.
to your mom, was it mom that you were asking about Ouroboros? I would not be surprised if He Who Remains took Ouroboros' ideas, used them,
and Ouroboros is
then
the
just
actual
threw
genius that came up
right,
with them?
and then threw him into the lowest floor that
basement.
everyone forgets about.
Erased his memories, or no, not he didn't
You know.
erase his memories.
But everyone else.
Because this could be a potential foreshadowing, right? The way that the Baron was like asking him about, you're giving me the rights and I'll handle production. What if it's the same thing that happened with He Who Remains and Ouroboros, where, because
Maybe that was
Ouroboros
the only
really is the real genius. I think
maybe that's the only partnership that ever
if he
supposed to happen.
Well, he was
and it
able to
doesn't.
create the loom without the book. Like,
no, he had.
No, he had the book. Remember?
No, Ouroboros.
Gotcha.
Like, he
Right.
created it because he knew that, I have made this before.
But it's the emphasis on he needed the book to make it. Yeah, we were
But
just
maybe Ouroboros, okay, he's in the basement, right? Sometimes when things rise, you're in the bottom, right? It's very symbolic. I feel like he probably sent the book to the past, gave it to He Who Remains, and now he's manipulating the system possibly to bring He Who Remains back into the TVA. He probably doesn't really need him to fix this machine. He just wants him to come back so they can take over. Like, I don't know, Ouroboros is sketchy to me.
You think he's sketchy?
He could be.
He could be. He
I
could
mean-
be this, like, underlying evil that we don't expect. That he's gonna just, I don't know. I don't know, he doesn't seem that way, but
I think
I don't trust him fully.
I think it's what Matthew was saying. More of he is the genius and
He was used.
He Who Remains just used him to, because he kept
I wanna
saying
think that that's
he
it.
kept saying my ideas, my creative thoughts, and and all these things that he was sketching, and then Miss Minute was like, "Oh, you're such a genius! It's so nice to be in your space." She was also feeling very, not
Attention, intellectual
right,
attention.
very. Yeah, basically, things that the clock should not be thinking about.
Yeah,
But
dude,
essentially, she was saying like, "Oh, you're such a genius! Like you're so smart." But no, he just read the book. Like that's it. Like he might be intelligent, but from when he was a child, he was reading this book,
True.
written by Ouroboros. So, what? Like that's such a.
So Ouroboros is the victim being used.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially.
I mean, not to say that Victor is not smart and intelligent. It's kind of like Biff with the almanac and Back to the Future 2, and you plant something like that. I mean, he clearly he wanted to meet Ouroboros. That'd be an interaction that'd be cool to see in next episode when the two of them meet. He had a certain
I think we'll get a lot
looking
from
up to Ouroboros, who is this genius that I've been reading, right? And it's not until Ravonna and Miss Minutes come in and start like feeding him all this weird information that he starts
Weird
to
information
get
and also
going
this
on.
praise as well.
Right.
That he created these things and that he's intended to be this great and powerful person. And that's what I'm saying with Loki and Mobius. You can hope that there might be some good that could come of what they're doing. So we'll see. It's better that he's going into the TVA with them than with,
Now to understand,
Ravonna
just a quick
and
segue, we can talk about this a little bit. Because I know we had some confusion with like the sacred timeline, all the branches and stuff. One of the comments on our recent reaction to last episode mentioned that you know, like Josh, you mentioned it in the beginning, that every time we go somewhere, it says sacred timeline, right, or branched.
Right.
So that helps us know, okay, this is how it's supposed to go, or we're on the right one, or kind of like what we saw Loki doing, where he was slipping through the sacred timeline, or the branched, where, okay, clearly we're going off on something. And it's interesting because this episode did it so well because we saw the moment that caused the branch, right, with the book. So, but I know there's still branches that exist. I think the TVA took out, I think, 30% of them, but then also they keep coming back. So, you know, Sylvie's existence in a reality with McDonald's still is out there. You know, there's still a bunch out there, but it's very interesting, these universal themes of order and chaos and free will and being chained or enslaved to, you know, the rat race, or to the you know, in that sense there's definitely some interesting similar tones to like the Matrix. But not so much the sense of that everything you're experiencing isn't real, because clearly there's a human connection with everyone on these different timelines, on these different branches. It's those little moments when Sylvie has the choice to kill or not to kill, and for her to realize, like, no, I am not.
I think that was a win for her. There's certain things that are out of your control, and for her to not kill somebody helps her, I think, to be able to make that decision, to feel like she's not having to kill somebody to protect herself or to do what she wants. So I think that's, you know, a big win for her. Even though it might ultimately lead to a failure, she was able to not kill somebody, which I think is a big
for her to say that I can make my own choices. I don't have to be who the TVA has said I am. I'm just a variant of a very evil person. It's just that too, is like the assumptions, right? And to take especially, again, Victor's life. Now, if he ends up being evil and horrible, then at that point it's like, you know, they live with that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just very. I think it's so interesting to see a character like Loki that has so many interesting variants juxtaposed with a Kang. So the set design,
do you have any thoughts on the acting this episode?
I mean, absolutely flawless.
Are you still thinking about what you just saw? Like, just, yeah, that's how I am too.
Yes, you know, the best way I can try to prepare this next series of thoughts is, this is kind of like a question more than a theory. I'm trying to like really understand. Okay, He Who Remains is what? Because so that we have the sacred timeline that when I read sacred timeline, why is it sacred? Is it because it's the original, like unaltered, where, you know, where creation and the beginning of time originated from, and that at some point something happened where He Who Remains was empowered? Like we're talking about, maybe he met Ouroboros and we had some sort of partnership and it was abused, and because not only He Who Remains somewhere on the sacred timeline now, I don't know when this happened.
It could be the future, right? I mean,
it could be. Yeah. It could be, exactly. And then he went back in time, and so it's kind of like the Matrix, like Matthew's saying, and yet the question of AI is there, because now the way Miss Minutes is behaving is making me think, what if He Who Remains was more like a Victor Timely at some point, where there was a strange nobleness about him, although he was a genius. He created this AI character, Miss Minutes, and gave her free will. And she, in turn, poisoned his mind and kind of brought out the worst in him. Maybe it was always there. Anyway, I'm just trying to figure that out. Like, when did this all go just
wrong?
Absolutely wrong. That's what's fascinating me now.
Yeah.
Characters are clear. All of these characters are amazing to watch. The performances are an acting school. I love it. But now I'm in the lore. I want to know the story. I'm trying to get clarity on where we are in the plot.
Right.
So I'm trying to find which character is going to help me figure that out. But the best thing is, this is how you know it's just a really good show. All of these characters, most of them rather, minus Miss Minutes, we just don't know the whole truth. We don't know the whole truth. And Miss Minutes only knows what she knows to be true, she's going to use and manipulate. And the only other person that might know the whole truth is Ouroboros, and his mind was swiped. So it is such a puzzle. I'm so intrigued by it all. I just...
It's hard to know where it's going.
We have 2 episodes. 3 episodes now, right? That are left.
We have 3 left.
A lot can happen, though. This is proof of it. I mean, the episodes are getting longer. They might get a little bit shorter, but you trust that they're going to have it at the right length for what it needs to be.
Yeah,
and that's just,
I think the events of this episode are going to indicate a lot of what's going to happen later.
It's a good episode 3. A very good, like...
It's a nexus event.
Very much of a rising action.
In the show.
Yeah, that's it. That's the word, the Nexus event. I feel like there was some sort of moment where in that sacred timeline, He Who Remained created maybe the first original branch and distorted the sacred line. And I don't know. I'm just trying to figure that out. Like, how did he do this? How?
I think sacred timeline is to help us as an audience understand like a more linear approach to this, like past, present, future, to what we've experienced.
Right.
So the sacred timeline is what we've experienced in terms of the MCU. I'm trying to think now. Because it's hard, because time is a very circular thing in the way that
because our Loki died. This is a variant. Like,
right.
Very similar to ours.
But it's interesting because it's the same Loki, though. He's just like somewhere else, right? So if you think about it in Back to the Future terms, I guess, which is, I mean, they say it in Endgame, it's not the right way to look at it. But, you know, if you think about it, Loki still dies, right, on the sacred timeline. But that's just so interesting because he's still here. But at some point he got taken out to now be with us. So it's confusing.
That's what I'm saying.
I think with Kang, I remember when He Who Remains was explaining his story, and you saw those little holograms on his desk.
Morally, there's a chance for Victor Timely to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Loki. He was destined, to of course become good in the end, but there's always good in somebody. That's the hope. I just think there might have been always a constant thing, a constant cataclysmic force that would always kind of set things off.
Mm-hmm.
I do think the way that Miss Minutes was very, like, with the jump scare in that last episode of season 1, it's almost like a haunted house, kind of like I haven't seen the movie yet, but The Shining. Just kind of being secluded in this space at the end of time and having this weird clock with you that is like feeding you poison. I don't know. It's a thought. It's a thought that he became very much like Miss Minutes, where he just had a lot of knowledge and a lot of, but that's, of course, he was the creator of Miss Minutes, so maybe some of him went into her.
I think what's disturbing to me is He Who Remains. One of the things that just gave me shivers is that he had, as the conversation was developing with him and Loki and Sylvie, papers of their conversation were starting to develop in front of him. Remember?
Yeah.
It's like he was somehow able to track everything that was happening, but was he also able to track what was supposed to happen or could happen? That's what I don't remember. I just don't understand how this individual has so much power. Because if you can control time, yes, you're more dangerous than
the
Thanos.
fabrics of time.
And when did that happen? How did that happen? When is the end of time, or where is the end of time? That place where Renslayer lands at the end. Where are they, or when are they? I just don't know what's the best question.
Or how. But the truth is, even that place has some level of being affected by time because his body was decaying. You know what I mean? So
it's very mind bending.
Yeah.
And I'm at this
it's all
point,
exciting. We love it.
It's such a great mind puzzle. It's amazing. I think I'm going to anchor myself with Sylvie.
Yeah.
Sylvie had a major breakthrough in this because she could once again could have destroyed one of the variants.
Yeah.
And she didn't. And I love that I don't know fully why. I think she was affected by him because she saw sincerity in him, and he wasn't wrong. It's true logic. It's not the same heart. It's a different. I mean, look at her and Loki. They're very different but the same. And it's almost like that poetic, she's standing over him with her saber, her sword. I don't know what it is technically. Whatever.
Saber.
And
Use the force.
and not that kind of.
Not that kind of saber.
But it's almost like she saw some of herself in him, not just realizing, oh, he's right, he's not he who remains, or, one of the evil variants. I think it was more than that. I think a part of her was like, he's human, and maybe I'm wrong in taking his life. It was a very, very powerful moment, and I don't know yet what kind of repercussions it will have. None of us do, and it's probably the best thing about.
But right now in this moment,
we just don't know what's going to happen, and I love that. I cannot even begin to guess.
Well, I think a part of it might feel like, as much as she wants to kill him, she doesn't want to give him that power if he is the upper hand, right? Because in that first season, the season finale, season 1, there was this level of, even though she killed him, he still had the final say, and she that probably wasn't sitting right with her. And so the fact that she's able to look at him in the eyes and say, no, like, I have the upper hand, even though this may lead to worse things, to say that I was able to choose and that this destiny wasn't written.
And this life that I have now, to have to kill every variant of you, I don't deserve that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just I'm gonna just keep you alive because I have that choice. And and I think Loki's speaking to her too, that visual of having to fight him again in this same loop. I think that was another thing for her, saying that she was having to fight him again to kill a variant of this guy who has the same face. It's like time is repeating itself, and it's just it gets
he told her.
redundant.
He said, "I'll see you soon."
Yeah.
And she did.
She did. So yeah, I think she woke up, which is great.
Yes, yeah.
Big stepping stone. Episode, guys.
My
Great
God.
episode.
Very amazing.
Mom, you called it. This episode 3 usually has a climactic moment.
It should have a climactic
I think
moment.
that's still, again, people got episodes 1 through 4, which makes you feel like episode 4 might leave us a little bit.
I
of
feel
a
like this
cliffhanger.
episode gathered everything
Yeah.
and just threw it over here. And now we're just like, what the heck? It was like that. That's how I feel. I'm like, okay, hurry up. I need this next episode.
But you're right in the Ouroboros might be, right? Is a little suspicious. So.
I mean, I love him. I think he's great. I think he was manipulated. But at the same time, I
Anything
don't
is
know.
possible.
There's
yeah.
theories that maybe he's not as innocent. But no, he's so sweet. You would never think, oh, he's...
It would be a pretty cool turn of events.
But yeah, it's easier to think that maybe he's just being
But you could also
manipulated.
go into the fact of
Or used.
his friendships and the way that he maybe trusted Victor, right? Because then, sorry, I just remembered this moment when the gate was closing, when he saw Mobius, and he's like, there's nothing you can do for him, as the shadow was going over his face. Maybe there was nothing he could do for Kang when he started to turn bad, or... There's a lot that you can
Definitely
do.
a story.
But he...
Yeah.
I don't know. There was a moment when he had the book, the TVA book, to the back page, and it's like the author created all of these designs, these things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like the fact that Ouroboros is the one who had the mind.
Right.
It's almost like Kang could be the puppet, but the mind. That's more dangerous. Is the mind.
Right. Or it's the idea of, again, the foreshadowing of his work being taken and being used, and that's why, again, I don't know why I was thinking of, I forget what it's reminding me of, but the creator of this, the person that has a lot of power, just being in the the basement, just being locked away, tucked away, where no one will ever find them.
There's some movies that have that element, I think.
So it can go both ways. I think they have its fertile ground for either theory to be correct or something in the middle. I don't know.
And maybe Ouroboros will be the one to save the day because he has the most.
He could be the true leader.
He's lost the most. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Kind of crazy, man. But
fantastic.
Thank you guys for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed our reaction, and we want to hear your thoughts down below. What you guys thought of episode 3 of Loki season 2. What your theories are. What your thoughts are on this episode, on the characters, on Victor Timely, and maybe any comic book insight on the character. Anything that you guys want to teach us. You guys usually educate us a lot. You guys have a lot of great things to say. We love to read your paragraphs of knowledge. It's really awesome. So yes, and remember, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, you guys are watching an edited version of this reaction. If you want to have access to our full uncut watch along to this episode and to any future episodes that we do, to this show, to new Marvel shows that come out, or Star Wars, we do a lot of uncut watch alongs. If you guys want to have access to those, you guys can have access becoming a member of this channel by either clicking the link in the description or this card up above to have access to our Patreon, or by clicking that join icon to become a member through YouTube. So you have 2 ways to become members and have access to that and to support what we're doing here on this channel. Your financial support monthly would really help us and achieve the goals that we have here to create more content for all of you. So if that's something you're interested in, you guys can check that out. But regardless, you being here today, we're extremely grateful for it. So thank you. Go out there, spread your light, and we'll see you guys in the next MaJeliv video. Have a MaJeliv day.
Bye.
Bye.